Hi, thanks for joining me for Crafternoon. Today I wanted to make constellation pin art. So what you're going to need for this project is some plywood, some nails. I'm using 5/8 of an inch, a hammer, some paintbrushes. I'm using filament, but you can use any width of string that you would like. And different colors of acrylic paint. I have black, different shades of blue, some purple. I'm also using glow-in-the-dark paint. I'm also going to be putting some glitter on it. And some needle nose pliers are helpful when you are hammering the nails. And you also want to find a constellation and print 2 copies of those. So what we're going to do is we are going to start by painting it. And this needs to be done the night before or several hours before you want to put the nails in. Now I painted the wood black, and I'm just using a sponge just to sponge some color onto the black to give it more depth. Now there is a lot of different shades in the night sky, so we're just going to use the sponge just to add texture and all the different colors. So if you don't like what you've done, just go over top of it and just keep blending. Blending is the most important thing with painting. And then once you've done the entire surface and you're happy with it, then we're going to I'm going to sprinkle some glitter on top and then let that dry overnight. So the paint has had a chance to dry. So we have, before it was dry, we put fine glitter and the coarse glitter to look like stars. So what we're going to do is we are going to put the nails on now. So you're going to take one of the copies of the constellation and just lay it on top. Now if you want, you can tape it down, but the tape might take off some of the paint. So I just like to lay it on top. So you can either hold the nail with your fingers, but I find it a little safer if you use needle nose pliers to hold it. So just put the nail in the star in your constellation. And then just put the nail inside each star. And then once we have a chance to do that, I'll show you the next step. Now once you've had a chance to put all the nails in the wood, whatever you used as a reference to put the nails in, you just want to rip that right off. You don't need that anymore. However, you do need another copy of the constellation. This will be a guide to show you where the string will go. So the dots will be the nails and the lines will be where the string will go. So you want to refer to this as you're putting the string on. Now, this constellation did show a few major stars that were not a part of the constellation, and I did mark those when I was putting the nails in. So I just put a hole in where those stars are, and I just marked it on the wood so that I can paint those in later. So when I'm all done the string, I'm going to use glow-in-the-dark paint just to add some extra stars. And I'm going to put those stars in with glow-in-the-dark paint. So do keep that guide as reference so that you can put the string on the nails correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a knot in the string and tie it around one of the nails. And you can either take the tail off, or you can leave that till the end. I'm just going to leave it for now. So if any of the nails become weak, just hammer those back in, because they are going to stay in there permanently, so you don't want loose nails. So what you're going to do is you are going to take your string and go to the next nail and loop it around, and then go to the next one and loop it around. Now make sure that you keep your tension taut. If you don't keep your tension taut, the string will just pop right off. And just keep going around and around until you go around all of the nails. I'm going to try to do this so that my hands don't get in the way too much. And as you're doing it, just push the string down. Now, once you've gone over all the nails, what you want to do is, if you've gone on one side with the string, you want to go on the other side. Now, that is a personal preference. What you can do is you can follow the same string line. So you just have one line that is thick. However, if you want, you can do it so that the string goes on the other side of the nail, so that it is thicker. So it looks like two lines, but when you layer them, it will look wider. So that is a personal preference, so it's up to you how you want to do it. And you just want to follow the line over and over again. So you want to make sure that you do the same number of lines in between the nails so that you have the thickness throughout the whole thing. So if you have 20 lines here, you have 20 lines of string here. And because you do want the thickness to be consistent throughout the design. So once you have a chance to layer the string, then I will show you the next step. So once you've done all the layers that you want to do, you want to just tie that off and make sure that it won't come undone. So you want to just cut off the tails as close to the knot as possible without wrecking the integrity of the knot. So now for the next part, you want to make sure that you have some protection on your table so that you don't get paint everywhere. So I have some glow-in-the-dark paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glow-in-the-dark paint where those major stars are. And I also want to put some paint on the nails so that they'll glow in the dark as well. And you can also put some paint on the string if you want, so that the string will glow in the dark. There is also glow in the dark embroidery thread that you can get. I don't know how well that it glows in the dark. I know that this glows in the dark quite well, this paint. So we're just gonna load up the paint on the nails. And then for our last step, what we're gonna do is you can either flick your paintbrush like this, and this will put tiny little specks on the wood, so it'll look like stars. Or you can also take your finger and put it on the bottom, and then bring it up really quickly, and that will also put some paint, glow-in-the-dark paint on the wood. So that is constellation pin art. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me.